Well guys, first of all I would like to say sorry for postponing this video because these days I got a little bit injured. That happened accidentally. That night we were at the restaurant and it was a little bit slippery there. So as the result I hit my head on the floor and 6 stitches.
You fell down, right?
Yes.
And the peculiar fact that today's episode is also about injuries, but at the swimming pool. But the main difference is that my injury was absolutely accidental, and most of my injuries at the swimming pool, they really could be avoided. So I'm going to recover soon, and you watch this video until the end.
When people hear about Olympic or cliff diving, they always ask about the risks and injuries. Do athletes always hit the board with their heads? Or do they break their bones because of the water tension? Or is it possible to drown at the competitions? I've been doing this sport for more than 25 years, and I know almost everything about what can go wrong there on the diving boards. Many things from my personal experience. I'll tell about only 5 of them today. This video can especially be useful for the younger athletes, because most of my injuries won't happen if I had today's experience. Not sure about my back injury though, but we'll talk about it at the end of this video. The purpose of the video is purely educational. Never try to repeat any of following actions. It could be life-threatening.
Hey, what's up, water crew? My name is Jim and I'm a pro cliff diver. I haven't shared much about my athletic background on this channel. Never told you the story on how I became the person I am today. Because for me, it's all in the past. At least I thought so. But as you know, my life has changed quite a bit lately. So it's possible that I might need to make a sacrifice for my family and start diving off a huge platform again. So let me know in the comments if you would like to hear about my journey as an athlete. I have a bunch of stories about my wins and failures, even more about my injuries. To begin with, I often get asked if it is possible to break something while diving. I can tell that most of my injuries, especially this, could never be happen. Hope this video will save you or your friends. We put up a top 5 injuries that happened to me during my diving career. The worst injury, when I hurt my back, is going to be at the end of the episode. Ready? Let's fly.
The 5th place. Broken leg.
That happened around 2008 at the Army Sport Club pool, where my athletic career started. I've literally spent all my childhood there, and even slept there several nights. That was a very old facility that was a bit reconstructed for the last time in 1994 for the Goodwill Games in St. Petersburg. The same year the new springboards were placed there as well. 15 years have passed and the boards became extremely slippery.
What did you say?
Oh no.
But no one was going to either clean or change them. So let's see what exactly happened to me.
You cannot tell anything is going to go wrong in the beginning of the dive, but then I suddenly slipped. Many people would think that the major injury was to my head, since I hit it on the board as well. However, the truth is that my ankle was in much more pain after that dive.
Turned out I broke my ankle right above my middle toe. How could it even happen? All I did was slip on the board.
Well, the structure of the springboard implies a small barrier on the very edge, so my toe got stuck to it and turned down, like if I was pointing my toes as a ballerina. I had to wear a cast for a while after that.
The conclusion of this story is: always check the equipment before you use it, and make sure to avoid rusty slippery springboards.
The 4th place. Broken arm.
This accident still happened at the same old pool, although maybe not when I was exactly diving.
About 50% of our practices take place on the dry land. We are using the tumble track and the trampoline. You all can imagine how fun it is to jump on the trampoline. So many random people like swimmers or water polo guys would sneak onto our dryland facility just for that.
To stop them, we as kids were put to work. We had to take the tramps apart after the training. I should point out that we had very old trampolines that weighed a ton. It wasn't a great idea actually to make kids take them apart. Anyhow, one day I either got distracted or other guys didn't pay enough attention and literally half of the trampoline fell onto my arm. I cannot explain how painful it was. My 12-year-old friend Pasha got so shocked by my scream that he was able to lift the entire thing up himself, so I could get my arm out of the way.
After that, I had to miss the entire diving season, and instead of going to the diving summer camp, I had to join my sister at the dancing camp. I mentioned that story in one of the episodes.
So hopefully it's a good lesson for you all. Never let children lift such heavy things as trampolines. It could be very dangerous. By the way, 20 years later my right arm is still less mobile than the left one. You see? You see the difference?
The third place. Torn my ligaments after hitting the water.
This happened to me a few years ago. That was a tough period of my life since we kept getting kicked out of different public pools. They didn't like our content. Maybe. I could only film my YouTube episodes at night, so I never got enough sleep. My eating habits were pretty bad then, and I traveled a lot. I kept practicing cliff diving those days, but as you can guess, the risk of getting injured was rising for me day by day because of that unhealthy lifestyle.
Right before the competition in Greece, I went to the high diving boot camp in Kazan, and instead of being rational and getting enough lead-ups done on the lower platforms, like the 10 meters tower, I went to the high diving one, the 20 meters tower. I did about 5 dives, which is quite a lot for the first high diving practice in a long time.
And then I did the 6th one.
You may ask, what could go wrong there? The entry looks great, just like the rest of the dive. Although it's true that the dive is good, I might have gotten my body weight shifted to the one side. Maybe that's why I felt very sharp pain in my foot underwater. Although the pain was gone quickly, when I got out of the pool I figured I couldn't step on my foot. Every step was painful for me, and here comes the most stupid decision I could make then. I didn't finish my practice just because my foot was bothering me.
Sounds stupid, but I still had to film a YouTube episode, so I kept going. Of course, it was a part of my job. On the other hand, why didn't I give my body a rest?
And of course I went to Greece after that. Later at the competition I injured the other foot. I was becoming more of a scary movie character every day. Then I had to step away from diving for a long time. Much longer than it could have been if I rested at the time of the injury.
So I highly recommend each of you to be strategic when you are planning your competitions and training cycles. Make sure you are recovering between practices and never let your injuries flourish. Take care of them immediately.
The second place, Balls of Fury.
Yeah, this one is spicy. At the time when I was practicing for the Redbull Cliff Diving and the World High Diving Championship, I decided to learn a new dive, 4 flips with half twist from 27 meters. But before going that high, I thought I would try it from a mini tramp of the 10 meters platform.
Not many divers have done it from there actually, because you have to have a very strong takeoff in order to make it. But the mini tramp and the high make this task very stressful. And what exactly happened to me? I started practicing 3.5 flips of the 5 meters, and those who know something about diving can tell that I was doing a decent job. I had 5 more meters to complete half of the flip and half of the twist. A few days later, I thought I was ready to bring that dive to the 10 meters.
Honestly, I was scared to death. 10 meters is already a serious high, plus I had to jump off a mini tramp too, which didn't give me any confidence. However, I still went for it.
At my very first try, I landed straight on my butt. As you can see on the replay, I knee buckled, and instead of going up, I went right into the water.
Landing on your butt is painful, but I felt more like I was scared than if I was in pain. Of course, it didn't stop me from trying the dive one more time. And what do you think happened?
I buckled again, but the second time I got unlucky with the landing. I thought I was going with the same speed as in my previous try. In reality, this dive appeared to me much more powerful. Plus, I kicked extra hard at the come out and fell on my balls in the worst possible way.
I've never told anyone that before, but only you guys should know that my balls literally turned blue.
It did.
I was so scared that something was wrong with my blue ones that I decided not to see the doctor, so I didn't hear the possible diagnosis. The pain lasted for a couple of months, but finally it was over. I even have a proof that I fully recovered after that accident. But if you guys think that it was my last time doing that dive, think again. If we get 10,000 likes on this video, I will share if I was able to overcome my fear of that dive, since I was certainly became phobic.
If I was shocked with the pain level I experienced, imagine how Andy Jones felt after such a landing from 27 meters at the Red Bull World Series. I'm pretty sure he had to see the doctor after that one.
But what's even worse is if girls smack in a similar manner. Well, we can continue talking about spicy cliff diving injuries next time. The main conclusion: avoid ball risk and see the doctor at once. Don't be stupid.
The first place, an injured spine.
The absolutely worst injury that had happened to me during my athletic career was about my back. Did I break it? I will tell you in just a second.
Back in time, when I just started learning my dives from the 27 meters, I was dreaming of going to the World Championship in 2015 and to show off my dives there for the cliff diving community, in order to be invited to the top level competitions then. So I went there, and the first thing I did was a dive from 20 meters. Pay attention to the video quality. I made friends with the TV guys. And by the way, that was my very first experience of working as a commentator on the Federal channel. Anyhow, my 20 meters dive went just fine. But the next was a 27 meters platform, the height that I wanted to show off from. That was actually my third dive from that high. Let's see.
No.
You may think, how does it relate to a back injury? Can you really break your spine like that?
Before I explain you what happened, I want to tell you my worst mistake. After I barely made it out of the water, I kept smiling and didn't go to the doctor, as usual. Because I thought that if people saw me getting injured that easily, I would never be invited to the Red Bull Cliff Diving Championship or to the World Championships. Guys, there is no a single athletic title or a competition that is more important than your own health.
A couple of years feeling a back pain when I finally decided to see the doctors, they looked at my MRI and conducted that besides of having spine hernias, I possibly did fracture my spine at that point. But how could it happen? Well, the reason for it is that I got rolled back underwater. I even felt like I hit my head with my own feet. I probably looked like a rhythmic gymnast then. When I got out of the water, I felt like I got broken into two pieces. That was really painful.
I have to add that even that dive didn't stop me from practicing. I kept preparing myself for the international competitions and world championships.
But you know, guys, before posting this video, I thought it would be completely unfair to say that cliff diving is totally dangerous kind of sport. In this video, I was talking mostly about professional diving, about cliff diving. And if we are talking about amateur classic diving without extreme heights or crazy flips, it is much safer than, for example, a soccer, ice hockey, boxing, or any other kind of fighting. Anyways, I think this video should be really useful for you or for your friends and should prevent getting the same injuries which I got because of my stupidity.
None of the doctors could ever stop me from doing what I was doing. However, a bit later something even worse happened to me. If you would like to hear what it was about and why I have a scar on my forehead, like this video and I will continue sharing my cliff diving life stories with you. So what a crew, push the bell, give us thumbs up and please never do crazy stuff. We will do it instead of you. Take care, bye.